hero in the back lines, just on that quirky pickup, laying down the deeps.
So now we're heading straight back into Champions League for game number 2 between Snake eSports and Team WE. This time round it'll be Snake on the blue side of Summoner's Rift. Team WE will be taking the red side as Shen and Echo are the first 2 bans that are coming out from Snake. First off the bat is going to be Gangplank taken away by Team WE.
A lot of top lane focus, something that we have started to see more and more of. A limited champion pool seems to be the name of the game in the top lane. Of course, Aurelia still exists. We know that there are other champions that you can play, but those are the S tiers, besides the Na, now taken away.
Now going to see Karma being banned out. Lysandra is the next ban being taken down by Team WE. Waiting to see what the final ban for Team WE will be.
Talia was banned last game from Snake. We'll see if she's respected this time around, if that's going to be the final ban, if it will be that Gnar even more focused on the top side.
Last time ban
as well.
Last ban for TW was that Rek'Sai, especially now on the blue side. Summoner's Rift probably want SOFM to pick that one up, but they do ban out the Gnar, opting not to allow Fandra to pick up that champion.
Yeah, a curious decision, honestly. Yeah, the Rek'Sai could be looked at, and SOFM has shown that he wants to play the Gragas above all else, but it's because he never got an opportunity either to even consider the Rek'Sai as a pick.
Again, Rek'Sai on blue side, a lot of teams are respecting this. It's almost permanently banned on red side, although it won't be the priority pick. But due to the beautiful gank path that it has of going blue, small camp, red, gank on bottom.
Rek'Sai was permanently banned out against SOFM in that last series by Vici. Every single game they banned it out, so this time around Team WE they decided to pick up Siva as well as Rek'Sai for Condi to start things off.
I think the decision to pick the Rek'Sai for Condi does make a lot of sense. He's a great Rek'Sai player, has played a lot of it historically, also denying it as a pick from SOFM. The Sivir as well is curious to me for a Mystic. He doesn't need it, but it's very good in his hands.
Big comfort champion. It also opens up a lot of flexibility for their composition. It doesn't really show anything, whereas I think you're a bit more funneled into kind of a pick comp when you have Ashe, although not necessarily.
Snake do pick up the Talia earlier, and they also now pick up Tahm Kench as well as Ashe as their next 2 picks. They're still missing a top laner as well as a jungler for Snake.
Yeah, so instead of the Braum, they go for the Tahm Kench, something that is starting to rise in popularity quite severely. Able to provide the entire team a form of disengage, but can also go forward and has the unique ability to cover distances with his ultimate very well.
Offers a lot of safety and mobility to an otherwise low mobility AD carry and Ashe as well, and synergizes beautifully with Talia and the semi-global presence. So EDG used compositions very similar to this to great success. It's now Snake's turn.
Team W decided to lock in Vladimir. Well, no, they did not. The arrow just disappears on me for no reason. It's going to be Alistar and Malzahar instead being locked in here for Team WE.
We already wrote down the V, Vladimir. Malzahar and Alistar, so aggressive form of maneuvering now from Zero in the bottom lane on the Alistar. Could have went for the Braum. Decides that they want this instead.
Kind of interesting. So there's a couple of different ways with Talia, like the mentality of fight fire with fire or fight fire with water. She's going to shove you in. Pretty much no one can deny that her level 1 ability to control the wave is unmatched. Malzahar will be able to keep up later on down the road, but you kind of have 2 different mentalities. I either take someone who's going to try to push as hard, if not harder than Talia as the levels increase, or I'm going to pick someone who's going to lock her down and kill her. Malzahar is kind of this beautiful mixture of both. For
now though, here's that Nidalee pick that you're talking about the entire last Best of 5 series, Rusty, picking up by SOFM this time round, and it's going to be the Poppy picked up for Flandre in the top lane.
I've been waiting for this, to be perfectly honest with you. I wasn't sure when it was going to come about, but better late than never. SOFM, even with champions now available, the Gragas still stands. He opts towards the Nidalee. Is a great Nidalee player, but is super snowball reliant when he plays this Nidalee.
Whereas 957 will be picking up Maokai as the final pick coming out for Team WE.
As we look across Snake's composition, I want to quickly touch on this. So Nidalee is going to have great damage and a lot of pressure early game, but she does fall off coming to the late game. Likewise, Talia, great mid-game power spike, very strong early in lane phase, but she doesn't have a damaging ability on her ultimate, so she'll also fall off come very late game. So I feel like there's a bit of lacking damage on the side of Snake.
Team W on the flip side got a lot of comfort picks coming out here. Condi back on the Rex side, 957 picking up the Maokai in the top lane. I'm really interested to see how SOM is going to be able to play this Nidalee. Didn't touch it at all the entire Best of 5 series against Vici, now pulling it out against Team WE. Lots of surprise picks, even though that last series went to 5 games.
Yeah, again, the Nidalee I think a bit back more to standard than the Yasuo throw out, which was a bit crazy. You've got to be a little bit more reserved now, given that they lost that first game. And WE going for the Maokai is a very funny thing, simply because of how game number 1 went, where like you can lose lane, Na's still going to be relevant. You can lose lane on Maokai, it's the exact same thing.
Also does mean that late game they have a ton of damage threats because they have so much control for that Sivir and the Malzahar. So again, if we come into a scenario where it's 35-40 minutes, I feel like Team WE's composition is going to do much better than Snake's.
Don't have the Karma this time round. A champion that Zero used to great success in that last game to dominate the bottom lane of Crystal and Jay-Z. Jay-Z been picking up a time catch, which should be able to keep Crystal fairly alive if anything goes south in the bottom lane. Or fairly safe, I should say.
There's just so much CC and displacement ability. I'm just thinking down the road, Rek'Sai is going to be a massive problem. Tiamat's pretty much the standard build on him, so he'll also be bringing a lot of damage. You put that in tandem with Alistar and Maokai diving backlines. This can be really scary if this game goes late and Snake don't find a snowball early.
And now they're heading straight back onto Summoner's Rift. It's going to be Snake taking on Team WE in game number 2. Team WE hit hard in game 1, were able to take down the victory there. Snake, they fought VG in a best of 5 series to get the reverse sweep and get into this match against Team WE. Gonna have to see if they can pull this one back in game 2.
Yeah, it's definitely important here for Snake that they show up in the second game. Once again, the mental fortitude needs to be brought into question. The 7th game of the night for this team consecutively, with only the half an hour break in between. And WE get the best of them in game number 1, and it was not a short game by any means.
We start things off, Crystal and Jay-Z looking to try and be cheeky again towards missing a 0, looking to take Gromp Camp at level 1. Blue side seems to be the side that disrupts the Gromp Camp more. Although we did see a chaotic level 1 fight between EDG and RNG last night.
So this is 6.15 Nidalee. She's stronger overall, but her initial clear through the jungle is a bit more fragile, a bit more brittle, because she is starting blue buff. That'll be compensated a bit more as opposed to starting red.
I actually find that starting red is more ideal for you simply because you get the health regeneration. So Nidalee, when she starts jungle, will go for the point in the trap, hit level 2, and then put a point in the spear afterwards. And the reason that that's better for you is because how quickly you clear when you have that. However, the problem when having blue is that you're not going to have enough health regeneration that the red provides. You're not going to have a point in the heal either. And so realistically, you get more cooldown reduction and more spell rotations, but you actually don't have as much health.
Keep our eyes on him.
We still do see SFM start on the blue side of the map. Crystal and Jay-Z this time round not being bullied out by Mystic and Zero at level 1. Instead, they are the bullies. So they chunk out both the Alistar and Sivir to half health. Jay-Z going to continue to push the lane by eating up the minions. Still making sure it gets as close to the turret as possible.
It is a full clear as well from SOFM, so he's playing that Nidalee to hard farm. This is exactly what he's going to look towards doing. WE, this is not game 1, evidently.
Condi does get spotted out by that ward. We'll see if he tries to take down the Scuttle Camp, or Scuttle Crab, sorry, or if he does go towards the top side of the map. Seems like he's settling to take down the Scuttle Crab. SFM will hop over the Dragon Wall, did the exact same thing on the bottom side of the map.
Condi has an opportunity that he can look for a gank on the mid lane, although Tank's smartly playing towards SOFM, but this is going to be a 3-buff opportunity for Snake's jungler.
Yeah, SOFM spots out Rek'Sai, taking down the Scuttle Crab, moves towards the blue buff. It's a Hawk shot coming out from Crystal, will spot out the Rek'Sai.
Almost looked like they wanted to give it to Tank for a second there as well, but SOFM, true to form, make sure that he gets it.
Fortunately for Condi, obviously the Rek'Sai, so he's not entirely reliant on the blue buff, but right now SOFM just running circles around WE's jungler.
As we check in with the top side of the map just there. 957 against Flandre, 2 tanks up in the top lane. Not going to be too much action taking place between them. Back in the bottom lane. This time it's Crystal with the Ash pick. He's already been able to put in some good work against Missing Zero. Not as much damage that was dealt as previously, but look at this aggressive flash forward from Zero trying to catch out Crystal, but a smart flash from JC saves it. Now he's the one that's been jumped on. He had to flash to try and get away from that. Heal comes out, pops the Grey Hell. Crystal trying to turn this one around against Misty, getting a lot of damage down to Team WE. Flash for flash, jungle for AD carry and support.
But across the map, it is Snake that comes up on top. The power of Tom Kinch and his ability to diffuse situations like that.
Yeah, it was definitely good from the Tom Kinch in particular. Crystal even coming back out and just starts turning it around and doing damage means that Mystic will not be content with his laning phase at the moment. And Crystal's going to ensure that as SOFM also gets his first eye in and is now starting to reach a point where he's honestly just getting too far ahead of Condi as it is.
SOFM doing what he does best, which is moving into the opposition's jungle, taking away as many small camps as possible. Already 10 CS up ahead of Condi.
Bigger issue is that Condi, you know, expended his time, tried to make something happen to the bottom, also burned his flash, although hold on.
Crystal taking a lot of damage from the head up. Pulverize was also tanking up that entire minion wave as that crowd control connected.
But ultimately, because his bottom lane adventures were fruitless, he is especially far behind, having a summoner spell gone, as well as losing a lot of his jungle.
Meanwhile, Tanks moving back in towards the mid lane. Condi will spot him out with the Tremor Sense. He himself moving towards the mid lane. Tank has to be a little bit careful. CL, Malzahar doesn't have the ultimate. Seismic shove is going to get dodged here by the Ghost coming out from Sierra. Throws out the Voidlings, looking to chase him down. Condi did leave that mid lane, so was not able to assist the Malzahar.
And he's going to be spotted by Crystal, so everything evens out once again. The major win here is SOFM. Look at the difference in CS between them.
31 to 13. SOFM's been farming a storm. It's now gone back to base, picked up the Tracker's Knife to get extra wards down for his team.
King did come down onto tank. SOFM is on the top side near mid, now moving back towards that Maokai. I have a feeling that we're about to see these two junglers clash, and not in a good way for Condi.
SOFM at his home right now, or his base of operations, at the Krug camp on the enemy side of the jungle.
There is no real good way for this to clash for Condi, except for this exact moment in time where SOFM doesn't have an item spike. But he's top.
Onto the top side of Matt. 957 uses the Twisted Bounce onto him. A good flash forward from Vantry and lock him down into the wall. Flash being used by 957, but he's being chased down by SOFM. Does get knocked up by Condi, looking for this fight. Zero's moving up to the top lane. Weaver's Wall comes out for Tank. Condi has no flash available, which means Tank will be able to pick up first blood.
And so far this early game, Team WE have just been 3 steps behind SOFM, finding the superior rotations as a team and picking up the first blood for free. And I was going to say possibly more, but he gets the back timer in. Doesn't have teleport.
Even Jay-Z moving up towards the top side of the map there. Tank picking it up. He moves straight back in towards mid lane. And hello, SOFM. Still farming Condi's jungle.
Yeah, he's due for a recall. Probably have a fair bit of items as well.
Yeah, 25 CS up.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work. And Condi's just spent damage control time and still not getting any CS values. This is rough for the Rek'Sai, and it's a rough start for WE.
16 CS to 40. That is absolutely disgusting.
And the single kill alone, as well as the CS deficits, have given Snake a 2,000 gold lead. 7 minutes in the game, this is the exact spot we saw Team WE take when they had a massive bottom lane advantage before the dives into the top side of the map.
Should be noted that Flandre used his teleport, so there will be a TP discrepancy between the top.
Into the turret, huh?
The crowd says it all.
Yeah, it really does. That's not exactly the strategy you want to implement there, Jay-Z. Going forward doesn't mean getting him killed.
I feel like watching Tom Kenches today has been an Ash's worst nightmare. One's brought them to their death, just got spat out in front of a turret. It's not been great for the AD carry.
Started it.
So you do see Condi now moving down towards the bottom side of his own jungle. SOFM back in his own side of the map, which is surprising to see. 30 CS up, just 8 minutes into the game.
Well, I mean, there's no farm on the opposition side anymore. Why would you be there?
Krug's a back up. He's going up there shortly. He's going to be able to give blue buff away to Tank as he rotates over with the rock surfing.
He's just an animal right now. A machine.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how quick he's clearing, and it hasn't even finished the Runic Echoes at this stage. This is unbelievably far ahead. Condi needs to stop even looking for ganks. He needs to find CS.
Certainly does.
And unfortunately, even if they catch SOFM on the jungle, their collapse options are few and far between. just because 957 is relegated underneath his own tower and at his own discrepancy, 71 to 57, possibly in even more trouble.
SFM is
about to get dove.
He's overtaken 957 in farm. He's about to overtake Sierra as well. He's going to get dove here. Tank following up. Seismic Shove connects, and SFM picks up the easy kill on the top side of the map. Snake, very dominant start to game 2.
This is not a great series to be WE's top laner. Doesn't matter who he is, he's not going to have a great time.
But we talked about how there were holes in Team WE's general play style, that you can punish them early game because normally they kind of have a lackluster or a sleepy early game. So I like the fact that Snake are stepping up to that challenge and hitting them where they hurt.
Surprise. Take it down as Tank. The Malefic Visions giving him nightmares as he flashes away from the Malzahar.
He freaked out. That's definitely true.
Will be first brick that falls into the top side of the map, however. So
that's right.
Again, continuing this snowball as we've ballooned a gold lead to about 4K in favor of Snake at 10 minutes in the game. Fairly absurd.
I'll show Zero here. Zero needs to be careful.
Condi is moving down towards the bottom side of the map. SOFM.
That's level 8 to level 6.
He was looking for that max range spear. Doesn't connect against Condi.
He has a sheep.
Oh,
SOFM is so large that I'm pretty sure there is no coming back at 10 minutes in a game.
Pretty much any side Nidalee is on is automatically the strong side for Snake. Like, Team WE cannot do anything there unless they have all 5 members.
Snake has a 4,500 gold lead. That's with a turret and 2 kills picked up. That's how much the CS deficits have given them in this match.
I just don't know what to say at this point that'll make WE's chances to win this game even feasible.
SOF now fancies the Ocean Dragon to be able to take that one down nice and easy.
Let's project this late game. If Team WE can stall out long enough where they get their big break points
Yeah, you lost me, but keep going.
on all of the champions, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. That's all you got?
Yep.
That's where it stops? I thought there was more to this.
We're going to late game.
The execution factor. So again, Nidalee will fall off late game. She's massive right now, but she kind of turns into a heal bot or an execution or janitorial cleanup in those big late games. If she is ahead of the clock, though, mid-game, coming into late game, she will chunk with those spears. But again, if we get to that point where everyone has their core itemization, the resistances are up, she stops really being that defining factor like Rek'Sai can be, who dives into that backline, really disrupts people with his knockup. So it's that point that we need to get to. But Snake right now show no signs of slowing down.
Exactly. I just don't see how Team W are going to be able to get to that point anymore. Snake are freight train at the moment and not stopping.
Yeah. They need Jesus.
Jesus, take the wheel.
They need something at this stage. As Jay-Z's moving down to the bottom side of the map. Mystic will be able to use the spell shield to stop the tongue lash. Zero looking for engage on towards Jay-Z. Gets exhausted.
Here comes Talia.
SOFM looking to try and jump on top of them. That Weaver's Wall will cut them off slightly. Still have a window to try and run out of this one. Mystic caught in the wall. Will get taken down by Tank. Condi is going to be the next target. SOFM gets eaten up by Jay-Z. Don't think he quite wanted that. Feel like SOFM still wanted to go forward.
Yeah, SOFM may not have wanted that, but Jay-Z made the right decision to get him out of there because the rest of the team of WE was starting to rotate down, and the second rotation of Zero's spells would have been there in a couple of seconds. And so the right play is made, and the right decision is called, but that snowball continues a little bit further.
Ultimately, it is just a single kill pickup, but more importantly is that SOFM is placing this deep vision in the jungle, which is only going to help him continue to splinter and tear apart Condi.
5,000 gold lead for Snake at the moment. Flandre looking to assist with the rest of Snake to take down a red buff, just casually.
Everything is theirs. Goodbye. Get off my lawn.
That was ultimately not necessary. I think they could have killed him, but the jungle's more important, it
seems. But it was fantastic.
What was fantastic, Fish?
He ejected him from the jungle.
He could have just killed him in the jungle.
No, that doesn't send the message they wanted to.
What message does ejecting him send?
I give you mercy. I could have killed you. To let you know that I let you walk
We could
away.
have killed you.
That's why you're a caster.
Meanwhile, on the bottom side of that, Crystal and JC
Says the caster.
still farming up in the bottom lane.
You missed the play-by-play part of that.
That's Crystal and JC still farming up against Mystic and Zero. Siva still doing what Siva does, shoving the minion wave in towards Snake's side of the map.
the key word there is farming fish, and they need to be doing that for about 30 minutes before any good things will happen unless they find a big pick.
Yeah, for a 35-minute team, I think they're looking for 45 minutes in this game.
I genuinely believe that the game plan from WE right now is just play it out.
Hold on.
Like, not even hold on, just play it out and have fun. Because like, if I was in this team, I would definitely just be trying to have as much fun as I could. It's still a best-of-5 series that they're 1-0 up in. They are desperately far behind, and if they get to late game, then absolutely they have a chance. But just get to there as happily and as merrily as you possibly can get.
But one thing we can really say about Snake, as Condi was looking for a gank at the bottom lane, one thing we can really say about Snake is when we look at their best-of-5 series against Vici, they struggled so hard in the first 2 games. The fact that they took Team WE to late game and looked fairly even after a lot of topside shenanigans for them and now dominating the second game shows that they're doing a lot better in this second best-of-5 series already. That's half of Condi's health gone.
Condi almost dies 1v1. No, I understand what you're saying, Fish. It's just still a very scary situation because anytime this guy shows up, get the hell out of Dodge, run away. It's going to be a free objective, and SOFM can brute force anything that he wants on the map.
He's basically the Grim Reaper of Summoner's Rift at the moment. SOFM is a monster to deal with. It's crazy because we're yet to see Flandre or 957 involved in a fight, and this is still a good thing for Snake because the less that they can 5v5, the better off that they're going to be. Nidalee, a fantastic skirmishing champion.
He's really been the big double-edged sword of the team as well. Known to be a very selfish player, likes to get himself ahead before helping out the rest of his team. See here popping Ghost trying to defend this turret, but when he does get ahead and picks up games like this where he has MVP performances, it shows how strong he can really be for the Snake team and really pulls them ahead in most matchups.
Yeah, no, there's a reason that SOFM is in this team instead of ZZR.
And
who was playing well. Both of them were playing pretty well before they got replaced.
Snake are actually going to back. They're not going to force the...
957 on the top side of the map, just watches as the minions die that he can't farm because there's a Flandre in his way.
They're just slapping each other up there. Dragon will be spawning in 50 seconds. It's really only the Cloud Drake, but again, that's just another avenue for Snake to flex their muscles and try to bait Team WE to face them. Otherwise, I like the fact that Snake have shown that they're keen to start pushing down these objectives, knowing that they're strong. I just hope that they don't take Team WE for granted, they don't allow them to slow down this game, and they continue to apply pressure in Siege because they are a very good sieging team. It's not just the poke of the Nidalee, it's also the constant poke of the Ash Volley as well as Talia.
This Tank being able to hold his own in this mid lane against Mystic and Zero. Been trying to shove out as Sivir and Alistar, but the wave play that comes out from Talia just incredibly strong. Has a Melonomicon, even picked up a quick Silver Sash nice and early just to stop the ultimate coming out from the Malzahar. Weaver's Wall does a bit of damage to Condi.
And at the moment, Snake are winning this game just through having extra levels as well as the items. Best case scenario, WE just need to sit back and try and get some experience. If they win a team fight, it will be a picturesque, perfect team fight that should never have happened.
Well, that's a Weaver's Wall coming out. Mystic and Zero caught on the wrong side of it. Gets slammed into the wall. Over goes SOFM to take down the AD carry as everyone else just gets ejected from the jungle.
Ridiculous how far ahead Snake are at the moment. Flandre does a good job and is finally involved in a fight. And you can see how much of an effort it takes to try and get just him and SOFM out of it.
Buys enough time by kicking them off with the Poppy ultimate, which means they pick up that objective as well as now turn onto the Cloud Drake, possibly looking for Condi.
And they lock him down. Jay-Z going to get the tongue lash as well, acquiring some of the taste of the Rek'Sai. The rest of his team working on taking down that Cloud Dragon. In fact, they stop. Crystal decides he wants the red dots on the bottom side of Summoner's Rift instead.
Well, they were all fighting. You know, they weren't doing the Drake, and he started it off for them to finish it. There's red dots to get. I don't blame him.
I mean, really, they're all going to go home and spend their gold anyway, reset the map, so might as well pick up the extra farms so you have that much more closer to your big item breakpoint.
So SFM takes down the Cloud Dragon. Second Dragon for his team. Snake, it's 18 minutes in the game. They're 9,000 gold up.
He has to have a lot of money. Like, SOFM has to recall sometime this year and spend that gold.
Eventually. One day,
Wolves and then blue buffs up in 10 seconds.
One day SFM will recall. He's going back to base now. No, he has not yet. Sorry, I was wrong. I was looking at the wrong champion.
No, Gromp, then blue buff.
Farming.
Then recall. And if Tank doesn't come over in time, he's not getting it.
The Tank is going to be rock surfing his way over towards the top side of his jungle.
I was going to say, he gave him the assist ping, the warning sign. Come here.
If you don't respect that, you don't get blue buff. But he will be able to pick up the blue buff there. It's Crystal and
He's
Jay-Z.
not recalling. What a man. Thing is, and like this is a fact that you can live by in competitive League of Legends and just regular League of Legends at home. If you have 3,000 gold in your inventory and your team's 3,000 gold ahead, you're not 3,000 gold ahead. You're even.
Well, although SFM has a lot of gold, I don't think it's 10,000, which is their current gold lead. He still gets to go back to base. Instead, he's farming up the opponent's blue buff and the rest of the opponent's jungle as well. Crystal picked up his own red buff from his side of the map. They're all now moving down towards the bottom side of Summoner's Rift. Snake, yes, they're 10,000 gold ahead, but they do have to close out the game eventually and start making steps towards doing just that.
They're setting up to siege on the bottom side. Again, SOFM still hasn't gone back. He has a very big stick. And he is just slapping WE with it.
Well, let's see what Snake can do on the bottom side here as they're looking to push for the bottom lane inhibitor turret. Sia takes a spear to the face. That's a third of his health gone. Another one on top of that.
That's half gone.
That's more than half of Sia's health gone. Has to be incredibly careful there. As Ash Arrow comes out, that's Sia stunned up.
That's just rude.
Insult to injury is exactly what that is from Snake. They're trying to siege. Stopping the Melzaha from being here indicates that they should be able to. There's just no stopping them.
Well, there's the Weaver's Wall. Zero forced to use the ultimate. And teleports coming out from 957. SOFM deep inside of this bottom lane. Force me eaten up by JC to stay alive. Tank down the target, but 957 is the first of four. The rest of Snake just cleaning up. Team WE is Condi taking a lot of damage. They do force the flash out of Flandre. The rest of Snake incredibly low. They do have to back out from this fight.
Which means it will force SOFM to go back and to buy. And that was kind of the big reason why that team fight was still so close, is because they're sitting on a lot of power.
Yeah, that was a lot of power that they could have actually purchased before any of that happened, as you're about to see.
It's a straight up Lich Bane coming out for SOFM. Picks up the components of a Rylai's Crystal Scepter as well. Missing that needlessly large rod.
I mean, the spikes that just came out should be the end of the game whenever they decide to do so. It's Snake's game to lose. WE are just holding on for the ride and seeing where it takes them.
Now we see SFM. He has picked up his items and he's fairly tanky as a Tahm Kench looking to try and collapse on towards zero here. JC, pretty quick, does get the tongue lash down. Pulverize only connects on towards the Tahm Kench. They're still chasing him down. 957 is there to assist, but Zero's getting pounced on. SOFM takes him down with ease. He's looking for 957 as well, but that's a very tanky tree underneath a turret.
He had flash. He wasn't expecting the damage burst that is coming out of Nidalee. Level 14 running around on the map. Highest level in the game.
So move in towards the mid lane. Tank has gone back to base. Still has components of his Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Look at the gold being picked up by these teams. SOFM has the most gold on the map. 9,700 gold.
He is about 4,000 gold ahead of his opponent.
That's just gross. He's not your average Friday night Cougar.
Closest person to him is Crystal, who's at 9,000 gold now. Sorry, Tank is 9,200 gold. Speaking of Tank, he's used the Weaver's Wall. I can't do this anymore.
No, I think that says it all.
Well, they're trying to lock down Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a QSS. He doesn't care about the Malzahar ultimate, but he's still taking a lot of damage here. The rest of Snake now showing up, looking to stop Team WE from advancing any further forward. That's a Poppy ultimate, stopping the spear, connecting onto Mystic, as Condi's going to get taken down by Tank. 957 now looking for the flank. Gets on top of Flandre. Zero incredibly low. Gets the combo on towards Tank. Gets taken down by the rock throws. Mystic now taking a lot of damage. That's a big seismic shove. A triple kill coming out for Tank. Oh. The fourth will be taken away by the Ash as Mystic has to flash away from the rock throw. But one more will be enough. And Tank's going to be able to pick up the quadra kill.
Okay, report Ash.
Yeah, big quadra kill though for Tank, and Snake with that gold lead. I was going to say maybe the inhibitor, but we're pretty early in the game and death timers are still quite low. The objective of the Baron does make a fair bit of sense here, and Snake are just so commanding in this second game.
Their gold lead is speaking for itself in these team fights. They just melt through Team WE. They don't have their core items. They don't have their resistances built up, and they're just falling over like cards.
It's a 16,000 gold lead, guys. 17,000 almost. I just don't know what to say about this game anymore. If you take a look at the fight in the top lane, Jay-Z's got a QSS. I think he forgot that halfway through the ultimate.
Yeah, he does die. He gives WE their first kill of the game, which is nice because they now have a kill. They're not going to get, no killed. They're not having a great time. And 957 thinks he has a flank, realizes the flank's actually just death. and has to run away. And this is where Tank goes for the Penta. But Crystal's like, nah, just nah.
He turned back towards it too.
Yeah, he wanted it.
He also pushes Mystic up against his own turret.
There's a great story. Aime, the team who's sitting waiting for these guys in round number 3, they're a trilingual team. Well, technically they have 2 dialects, Cantonese, Mandarin, as well as Korean on their team, so they have a bit of communication issues. Jin Zhao was looking for his pentakill the last series that they were playing, and he was yelling out, "Penta, penta, penta." He ends up with the quadra kill because his teammate takes it from him because he didn't understand. And immediately following, Athena looked towards Voidless and he goes, "What does pentakill mean?"
Well, he was sure would have found out afterwards.
He was tilted.
Yep. I would be too as well.
End the game, Snake.
They're not yet. They're taking down another dragon for themselves. As Infernal Dragon's picked up by SOFM. The rest of the team moving towards the mid lane. Flandre just tanks up a turret, doesn't really care. Pops the ultimate. Crystal going to pick up the first kill there. Seismic Shove knocks 957 back. He looks like a support with the amount of damage he just took there. Tank moving aggressively forward, looking to try and knock Mystic back into the uneven ground.
Yeah, SOFM tries to flash Spear as well, and then Spear flashes. Very unfortunate. Snake's jungler doesn't connect with the kill. 957 survives, and it's a 4v5 for another 8 seconds as the turret should die.
That's when I'm putting on his best Crystal impersonation there. They're looking to try and siege up the mid lane inhibitor. Inhibitor turret has fallen down. Members of TW ever respawn, but 957, he's dead. Tank picks up that first kill. A fight has broken out. Condi falls shortly after.
Crystal.
3 members of TW left. Crystal's gone into the back lines, picks up a double kill for himself, and with that Snake, they should be able to take down the inhibitor, and now they look towards the Nexus.
They've got an incoming wave behind them, so doing well.
They're going to be able to take down that first Nexus turret. 26 minutes into the game. Snake finally able to close it out against Team WE, but it was a one-sided affair and a very dominant performance from the Vietnamese jungler of Snake.
The 23,000 gold ahead or something? I'm pretty sure that's the highest value win I've ever seen in my life in League of Legends.
I'm pretty sure that game can't be broadcast in several countries.
34k to 57k is the end gold score in that game. That was, in the words of Spawner, shellacking.
It's also a huge momentum swing. Now, reminder, Snake have been playing 7 games today. They had a best of 5 before this. They're now 2 games into their second best of 5 of the day, with only a 30-minute break between them for some quick strategy. They lost game 1 late game, and to come back and to find the momentum to say, let's just go ham.
Is pretty big.
Pretty much. We're going to take a look at a few highlights of this game. I think we just called the SOFM reel. So he was just pouncing on people all across the map.
But it is a very similar pattern to what we saw in game number 1. Now, this time around, it wasn't the Gragas and the Yasuo combo, but it was really the Nidalee still picking on 957. So Snake have created this blueprint of we are going to camp you and we are going to beat you.
Yeah, which honestly needs to be combated by WE in some respect moving into that next game. But so far in this second one was just the Snake show. The highlight reel is literally just them because I think 1 kill this game was given to WE, and that was it.
Pretty much. Snake had a very dominant game, and I mean, it was not as many kills as you think it was. It was about 11-1, I think, the final score, but
they had 17.
During that entire match, there was a point in time where Snake, they were 5,000 gold ahead. And they had 2 kills to start the game off. And you can see the damage dealt there. Crystal topping the charts. Doing a lot of damage on this Ashe.
Again, welcome back, Crystal. Snake played 99% of their summer split with Martin as their AD carry, only pulling him back in the tiebreaker versus Vici. And since then, he's just looked absolutely informed. Now, 6.15, I definitely think patched Crystal in because it means that it's less likely to rely on lane swaps. It's more about your laning powers, and that's what Crystal has always been known for.
As the MVP for this match, again, it's going to go over towards SOFM. 4 MVP performances tonight alone. This guy was a been monster on his Italy in that match.
Every single win that Snake have gotten has been on the back of an MVP from him. Deserving or not, it doesn't matter, because in this last game he put on a clinic on Italy. Just out-farmed, outclassed all of his opposition and just out-jungled Condi in particular.
And that's another situation where Team WE effectively lose to a single pick in their third versus fourth match against IMA. It was the Aurelian Soul pick that came up and really threw a wrench in their plans. This time around, I have to expect that they're looking at the Italy like that will never happen again.
And they're still looking to be very creative here, Snake, changing up their draft, throwing in more unique and interesting picks. And Italy was something we really expected in the last series against Vici. All 5 games fell through Champions League. We didn't see him pick it up once. Picks it up in 1 game here against Team WE. I'm pretty sure we're never going to see that again.
Yeah, it should be banned from here on out. There's a couple of throwaway bans still available for WE. There's also a side swap, so they do have a better priority in that respect. And moving into the third game, I think things will look a bit more even for Team WE. But as far as Game 2 is concerned, that was a stomping of the highest order.
It certainly was. Snake pick up a very decisive and one-sided victory against Team WE. Tying up the series 1-1. It's still a best of 5, so we're going to go into a very quick break. We'll be back with Game 3 shortly after.